Carl, thanks again for joining us this evening.
It's great to be here, I gotta say.
I am so excited that we're presenting your breakout film now, which I think is just a masterpiece, One False Move, which you're not supposed to say that about a guy's first big movie, but you knocked it out of the park on this first shot. So tell me about how One False Move came about.
I was a student at the time at the AFI. I was an older student. I had had a career as an actor and wanted to kind of expand. The woman who became my wife, Jessie Beaton, who was the producer on the film, was looking for a director. There were three things. I think she had met the guys who had financed a company called IRS Media. A guy named Larry Estes had said that if she had the script, that was at the time called Hurricane, that Billy Bob Thornton and Tom Epperson had written. This guy said, if you can get me a director that we approve of and an actor that we approve of, then I'll, finance this film. And I think she was given several names by different connections of hers, one of whom was a woman named Anna Roth, who was over at Corman at the time. I shot 3 movies for Roger Corman.
You are part of the Corman Corps.
I was part of his grad school, absolutely.
Excellent.
And so she saw my short. And that's what made her decide that, that I was the person she wanted to direct the film. And so that's how I got into it. It was one of those scripts where you can just feel it.
So tell us about casting this film. Now, because Billy Bob wrote it,
right?
Was he automatically in? Was that part of the deal, or?
He was attached to play the role of Ray Malcolm. But we had to get a Hurricane character, Dale Dixon. And so we ended up with the guy that we wanted very early on, who was Bill Paxton. And the studio at the time did not feel he was a big enough star. They wanted to shoot for hire. And then finally we came back to Bill. Bill was that guileless guy, who was very much like Dale Dixon.
The film also had an interesting story about how it was released. It was a difficult release,
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we were funded by a straight-to-video company. And so most of the distributors, the fact that the video rights were already gone made it less attractive for them because, they want a fallback. If they don't do that well at the box office, they at that time wanted to be able to sell, VHSs and, and then whatever other ancillary markets are available. And so that was a big hurdle for us to get over. And so they were going to go straight to video with it. And Jessie, who was a producer at the time and who, as I said, is my wife now, she managed to get it in 3 festivals. She got it to John Hartle in Seattle Film Festival. She got it to Ann Thompson in Los Angeles at the Palm Springs Film Festival, and she reviewed it for the LA Weekly. And she got it to Sheila Benson, who took it aboard a floating film festival where Roger Ebert saw it. And they all had great reviews. They all liked the movie a lot. So she went in and said to them that, if you gave it a token release, you opened it in Chicago, in Seattle, and in Los Angeles, you will get 3 strong reviews from the LA Weekly, from the Chicago Tribune, and from Seattle Times. And so they said, okay. And they released it in those 3 cities, and it caught fire.
Yeah.
Word of mouth, it played all over the country after that.
This film does have a very rough opening. And there is a reason for that we will discuss after the folks have seen what I consider to be one of the great crime movies ever made. So here we go. Buckle up. Here is Carl Franklin's One False Move.